Welcome to Parenting Matters Now, a source of parenting advice a few minutes at a time.
Do you ever hate being a mother? Hi, this is Dr. Roger Smith of Parenting Matters Now, and if you answer that honestly, I think it's almost universal that there are days that you hate being the parent, whether it's mother, father. Some days I hate being a doctor. That doesn't disqualify us from that role. So if there are periods that you hate being a mother, hate being a father, you're not disqualified. That's not shameful. That's normal. But let's talk about how to deal with it. So many people long to have a baby, and when the baby arrives, suddenly their life is in shambles and they're not sure that they want to be in the place of parenthood. So especially if you've been married a long time before the baby, you have a way of managing you have systems, you have daily expectations, you have the capacity to make everything go right, and then a baby comes, and the baby doesn't necessarily match up to your agenda, and it's no one standing there going, "Great job on that project. Great job on changing that diaper." And the baby cries, and there are disappointments and discouragements along the way. But it's in those times we need to know the big picture and know that sometimes we do need support and help through those times where we're just not enjoying this phase. And especially if it's when the baby first arrives, that it's really hard. It's hard to know that that's a phase. It seems like it is a permanent place. It's easy to become hopeless and discouraged and begin have self-doubt, criticism, and those things. And even if that comes later, whenever the child is not doing something on the expected milestone chart, they're not potty training, they are not reading, they're not doing the thing that we want them to do now, we can become self-incriminating, and turn on ourselves as a parent and say that we're terrible, we're not good at this, and we can lose hope. And so I encourage you to find a community of people that have lived the path, walk through these things just a little ahead of you, whether it's through a church or some community organization, a homeschool group or PTA group, or someone who is just a step or two ahead of you in the journey, or someone that struggled with the same thing, whether it was infertility or struggled with a miscarriage or different things that are traumas that most people really can't relate to. We have to find someone who can step in beside us and not just tell us it's okay, it's going to be all right, pull yourself together, but to say, I've walked this path and you're in a tough spot right now. I'll walk it with you. And so there are things that we have to find solutions for, but sometimes just knowing that it really is a phase and that sometimes we just have to hang on a little longer, but it's always easier together with someone. Now, let's talk about the husband-wife togetherness, because sometimes you can't explain to one another what you're feeling, yet you've got to be together on it. If there is postpartum depression, which is a thing, I don't know that it's a diagnosis, it is a thing. And husbands don't necessarily understand the struggles and the sense of failure and the self-doubt and all those things that happen with postpartum depression. But we need to learn. So fathers, if you are watching, listen, 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 draw close, even if you can't understand. We need to stay on the same team, and we need one another in the process. And so those of you that are single parents, you've got to find someone that will walk that path with you, even if they don't fully understand. Maybe it's your parent, the generation above. Maybe it's a sibling. Maybe it's a next door neighbor. Someone. We've got to have someone in the journey, because sometimes we hate being a parent, and we need to have somebody right there that says, but you're good at it. It's just a tough time right now. So find hope, find a friend, and just know, or even if you can just remind yourself, life comes in chapters and phases, and you'll probably be a lot better at the next phase. This is Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters Now.
Subscribe to Parenting Matters Now for more advice, or go to rogersmithmd.com to search for more topics. See you next time.